latest review on Star Trek Lower Decks Envoys. Just be aware that this review does have spoilers, so if you haven't watched, you should stop watching now and view the episode first, unless you're willing to be spoiled. So, Envoys, I actually enjoyed Envoys. While I thought the pilot was decent, I thought this episode was definitely much better. Some things that I liked more about Envoys was you definitely get a more feel for the characters. It's clear they're trying to flesh them out, and it also doesn't feel as all over the place as well. Envoys is an episode that sticks to only 2 plots, as I said with the pilot. Was a little more over the place, but this one feels definitely more well-paced and more structured as it's trying to flesh out its characters. The cold open is just Mariner trying to get something from like I said, I haven't watched much of Star Trek, so I don't know what these talking crystal balls are, but it has almost nothing to do with what's actually in the episode. So the subplot is basically Rutherford trying out new jobs in the Starfleet after quitting his engineering job, and it's actually revealed that he quits his engineering job because he wants to spend more time with Tendi. And in the end, Tendi's actually okay with this and decides to watch whatever's, instead of on the observation deck, she could just watch it on her device. And I think it's particularly sweet because both of them want to spend time with each other. We can tell, Tendi from the pilot, she is new to the Cerritos and she just wants to make new friends. And I'm not sure if Rutherford is romantically interested in Tendi or not, but either way, romantic or not, I'm guessing he just wants company and he ends up going back to the engineering anyway. I found it really amusing how everyone at his other positions that he tried was really supportive when he decided to quit, although it was kind of unexpected at first because they were all mad that he's I want to quit, and then they're like, no, and then they're like, yeah, oh my god, that's amazing, you do what you want to do kind of thing. It's just one of those really subtle, kind of unexpectedly funny things you'd notice. And Boimler and Mariner's plot, it's the main plot, is a bit more straightforward, but it's also just as fun. It's also just as cool or interesting to watch as well. They are on a mission to escort a Klingon general to a Federation outpost, but Boimler every time is always gets into trouble, and Mariner has to get him out because she has the more hands-on experience, while Boimler has more of the book knowledge. And it's pretty much the same thing every single time. First Boimler falls for a girl who knows all about him, but it's really just a creature who wants who I think they wanted to suck on him and take his blood. I don't fully remember. It was kind of forgettable. Then eventually, Boimler actually thinks some guy's in trouble, but he's actually a Khan who can shapeshift, and he ends up ruining it for the creatures that are trying to catch him. And then along the way, Mariner teaches Boimler to loosen up, but her experience always comes up ahead of Boimler's book protocols, like I said, and it even comes to a point where he loses faith in himself. And then they encounter a Ferengi of hers, which is actually revealed at the end that Mariner actually hired this Ferengi to help Boimler gain back his confidence. And of course, by hiring the Ferengi to help Boimler, it's clear that we know that Mariner is just a pretty good friend overall. It was clear in the pilot that she said that she wanted to be his mentor, and she was actually felt honored to do it as well. As you can tell, she genuinely does care about him, and she wants to help him along the way as well.
Mariner, was I convincing enough for you? Human!
You were perfect, Quimp. Thanks for helping out.
Of course. I owed you one.
How's the wife?
She's good. We're actually looking to get away to Risa this weekend.
What? Jealous. Oh, you know what you guys should try? Jamaharan.
Wow. Isn't it amazing?
It's beautiful.
So would I say I like this episode? Yes. Yes, I like this episode. It was definitely better than the pilot. And I really cannot wait to see next week's episode as well. I actually have a little more anticipation to see next week's more than I did last week when I thought the show was just decent. But it's only 2 episodes, so then again, I still don't feel like I have a true consensus yet to even consider judging the show. Like, I see people judging the show online and they're just saying, oh, it's crap, or oh, it's so good. But even then, like, 2 episodes is still not enough to judge a show. I mean, I think at minimum, maybe like 6 or 7 or even 8 is barely even enough. I mean, if the season's only 10 episodes, you might as well just give it the whole season. But we'll just have to see how this show plays out. Could be better, could be worse, but so far, at least I'm looking forward to the next episode. So, Envoys is a definite improvement in Star Trek Lower Decks so far. Rutherford and Mariner are definitely the highlights of this episode. It has a nice, touching ending, and yeah, I think the comedy was a little weaker. Like, I mean, weaker than I expected it to be, but it was about the same with the pilot. Maybe a little worse, but I think the pacing and the structure did better for the story than overall in the pilot, where it was a bit all over the place. A good episode, yes. And so overall, those were my thoughts on Envoys. I liked it, and I'm pretty anticipated for the next episode at least. So I want to know what you thought in the comments. So let me know, and I'll see you guys next time.